My predictions for the franchise for 2022 were surprisingly spot on, all things considered. We got a new Vital Bracelet, Digimon Survive released, and we even got a Digimon World port. However, it's Digimon World Next Order, and that's due for release in February of 2023. So I'm feeling pretty good about all that. I'm going to say that that was almost a success in terms of my predictions. Some of them obviously didn't happen, like Ghost Game didn't end, and the port that I wanted was the first 3 world games, but it was just Next Order. But still, we got a port, so that's exciting. But more or less the ones that were right were fairly safe ones, I guess. Like Survive releasing was definitely on the cards and had been for years, so that was a safe bet. But Vital Bracelet 2, I guess that was less safe, but it's doing well, so I'm guessing that that makes sense. So let's see what predictions I can come up with this year, as well as additional things we already know that are happening next year, or this year rather. I'm recording this in November 2022, but I'm releasing it on the 1st, I think, of 2023. I can't remember how I scheduled it up, but it'll be, if I do say next year, I actually mean 2023. You'll have to just think about me being in the past from when this video is out. So anyway, we do know that in 2023 we have the 02 movie, so I'm starting off with the safest one. I'm assuming this is going to be coming out at some point in 2023. We don't actually have a release date for it, but I would be surprised if it's 2024, honestly. It would make sense for it to be in 2023, but I could be wrong, but I'm just going to say that that's a safe bet to be released in 2023. We also do know that Color Digimon Virtual Pets are coming out in early 2023, but if these sell well, Bandai has said that they'll release others of the series, so we might see some other versions announced for like maybe the version 3 and 4 or what have you, because the color ones are just based on the original version 1 and 2 of the original Digimon Virtual Pets. So that's kind of almost a safe bet as well. It's not a guarantee, but presumably these sell well, despite being on Premium Bandai. I do have faith that they will sell well. They're something that people have been asking about for quite a while, so I'd be surprised that they don't sell well, but we don't know how well is well in terms of what Bandai thinks. So speaking of virtual pets, there's also one that this may not be a safe bet, and that's the English DMX3s. Now, the DMX2s came out this year, and then they were recalled in America because the versions were actually swapped. So the purple one had the red one's roster and vice versa. So they didn't get recalled in Australia, they never left the shelves here, but they were recalled in America and did have to be re-released, and that took quite a few months because they actually just fixed up the programming rather than just whacking a sticker on the box. So that would have taken resources, as in time and, money, and people who could be working on something else. So we haven't heard about a DMX3 yet, and we haven't even got a leak as of recording this in November 2022. Now, shortly after the DMX1 came out in English, we already had leaks about what the colours would be for the DMX2. However, as of recording this in November 2022, we don't know anything about DMX3 at all existing in English. So if we don't hear anything by let's say April next year, which would be, I think, a year after the DMX2 was released, I'm going to say that we're just not getting a DMX3 in English because of the fact that the DMX2 had to be recalled and re-released in America. Which kind of sucks, because DMX3 is cool, it has Palmon X, which is the main reason it's great, but I'm going to say that I think I might actually say that we don't get DMX3. I think that's my prediction, that we just won't get a DMX3 in English. I really hope I'm wrong. That's why I'm predicting that we won't. And let me know in the comments if in the future, when this video eventually drops, if they do get announced. I hope that my track record of saying something in a video and then between me making the video and then the video releasing, Bandai announcing something, which has happened quite a lot. So I'm going to say it's not going to happen, and hope that Bandai proves me wrong at some point between this video being recorded, which is now, and released, which is when you're watching this now. So those are my predictions about the DMX3. My next one is another one that's not necessarily as safe as you think. So I'm predicting the Ghost game will end and we'll get information about a new Digimon series. Now, the reason why this is potentially not a safe prediction is the fact that Ghost game very well could be just an ongoing series like we have with other anime franchises. Instead of going to a completely new world, completely new universe, completely new rules, completely new Digivice, completely new kids, I'm wondering if Ghost game will continue on like other franchises, like with Pokemon. It's ongoing. So I'm predicting it to end, but I honestly wouldn't be surprised if it didn't end and it was just an ongoing one, or if it's just a slightly longer series than the others. We don't know. I thought that it'd be over by now, but then again, we did have the hiatus, which was a few months back at the start of the year. So it could end. It could also not end, but I'm predicting that it will, based on previous seasons. I can't expect it running more than 100 episodes, but then again, who knows? We've never had we had Atmon, but we've not had that many episodic seasons of Digimon. Atmon was fairly episodic, Ghost Game's fairly episodic. So I'm predicting it'll end, which is sad because I'm enjoying Ghost Game, but I look forward to new stories, so yay. My next prediction is on the more unlikely scale of things to happen, but it's something that I'm really, really hoping will happen. And again, part of me is just mentioning this because I'm cursed, and I swear that they'll announce something in between me recording this and uploading and releasing this. So I think Bandai is going to finally recognize Atmon, at least in the smallest capacity as being in the Digimon card game. So hopefully this means that Atmon being in the card game means that the Atmon side franchise kind of merges with the main franchise of Digimon. It'd be kind of sad if it didn't, and we've had other Bandai properties that are not related to Digimon relate to Digimon, like we've got the Magical Witches, with Witchenly being where Wizamon and various other magic-using Digimon originate from. We've got Nanimon being Oyajichi, which just came from the Tamagotchi planet and got really drunk and just became a Digimon. So it makes no sense that an actual Digimon property, like a Bandai Digimon property, being Atmon, can't be merged with the franchise in some way. So hopefully if we got it in the Digimon card game, we'd also maybe get some Atmon appearing on some BE DIMs further down the track. I feel like, and I've always said this since the Vital Bracelet first released, that some of the Atmon just would look perfect alongside Pulsemon or alongside any of the other Vital Bracelet Digimon, especially the Pulsemon Evolution line. So there's that, and I'm really, really hopeful that they do something with Atmon, because I love Atmon, and there's so many great designs. I've done a few videos of it in the last, I guess at this point of releasing this, the last few months, but I really, really wish that those designs got to see the light of day just at least once more, because they're just truly fantastic, and Atmon's so good. Like, watch Atmon is the other takeaway from this. Speaking of BE DIMs, I'm hoping that we get a non-dot Iadramon on a DIM. We do have the dot one coming out on the 25th anniversary special DIM, but it's just the sprite version, the dot sprite version, not the actual Airdramon that we know and love. I'm hoping that he shows up on a DIM at some point, hopefully. Then, of course, we've got some safe news, I guess, safe predictions, which is the new Digimon story game. We don't have much information about it yet, but I'm going to predict that it releases late 2023. So we've got Next Order coming out in February 2023, and then maybe at the end, like November or December, we get the new story game. I'm wondering if they'll aim for like November-ish, because that's sometimes when a Pokemon game gets released. We've had the Gen 4 remakes in 2021 November, and this November, as in 2022, we had Scarlet and Violet. So I'm wondering if they're going to try to, like, challenge Pokemon directly, which would be really... It seems like a ballsy move if they did that, but I'm kind of... Maybe they would. Maybe they would just try this once. I don't think it would go well, but I'd get both games. And I feel like a lot of people who would get the Digimon game would also get the Pokemon one. Less so the people who would just get the Pokemon one. I don't think they're, like, Pokemon having the demographic of mainly kids, I think. I don't predict them also being interested in the story game, which have a slightly older demographic. So, yeah, I'm predicting end of 2023 we see the new Digimon story game getting released. Again, we don't have a release date yet. I don't think we even have a release year, but I can't imagine. I guess it could be early 2024, but I'm predicting 2023. At the very least, we have a release date, which is barely a prediction. Like, yes, we will eventually get a release date for this game that's coming out. Well done, me. But, yeah, so that one's kind of like a... That one I'm a bit 50-50 on. Like, yeah, we don't have a release date, so we don't have a release year, so that means it could be over a year away. But it could also mean that it's 6 months away. Who knows? We didn't know that Digimon Survive was coming out in July until, like, June, I think it was. I think it was, like... It was a very short amount of time between it actually having a release date, finally, and us getting it. Because in February, we had Digimon Con when they said, yeah, we don't know the release date yet. And then we didn't expect it to come out in, like, less than 6 months. So, yeah, we do have that possibly coming out, or at least news about it. And then my next one, which I guess is just a prediction from my 2022 predictions coming into this, where after the Next Order port releases rather, if it sells well or performs particularly well and it's liked, which it's a port, so it's like, I guess it already came out, but people who haven't played it before might be able to because it's being released on Switch and PC. I'm wondering if this will pave the way for future ports. So if this does well, maybe 6 months after release, we get an announcement that another game is being ported. And I'm predicting / hoping that it is the Digimon World trilogy. So 1, 2, and 3. Of course, we never got 2 in Australia or in Europe. We just got 1 in 2003. I know there's Digimon World 4 / Digimon World X. Interestingly, Digimon World 4 was called Digimon World 4 in Australia and not Digimon World X, which was just Japanese name. Makes no sense because we don't have a 2. We just go 1. We go Digimon World 2003, Digimon World 4. That's not how you count. And I know I've mentioned that a lot of times, but it will never it'll always, like, entertain me. I'm easy to entertain, I guess. So yeah, I'm going to say I predict we get Digimon World ports, or at least more ports, provided that Next Order sells well. Again, I'm not a marketing expert at all. I have no idea if Next Order will do, like, the port will do well or not, considering it's not everyone's cup of tea. I'm not myself a big fan of the virtual pet video games. I prefer my virtual pets as, you know, virtual pets, like, that you can carry around, not ones that are in an RPG that I have to basically start from scratch every time it dies. Like, it doesn't really appeal to me. So I'm getting it, but I can see why it wouldn't appeal to everyone in the same way that I loved Survive, but I can still see why that wouldn't appeal to everyone. So yeah, maybe we get some ports. And lastly, and this is my, like, not happening but how sick would it be prediction, which you're probably just going to leave a comment roasting me on how impossible this is. But I want a Bandai made, so not like third party, but directly from Bandai Namco, Digimon MMO. Now, I don't want it to be money hungry like DMO, or I guess quite as grindy, and I don't want it to be as, I guess, I think slightly predatory is what DMO is often described as. I'm wanting, like, a cross-platform MMO, or at the very least just a single-player open-world Digimon game. Like, I loved Legends Arceus. I would love that in Digimon form. I think that'd be cool. But an MMO would be really sick. But again, this is my, yeah, probably not happening, but how sick would it be? Like, I think it would be really cool. But any case, those are my predictions, and I guess mostly hopes, except for the DMX 3 not getting an English release. That's not really a hope, that's a prediction, because and the hope is that I'm wrong. So that's that. Let me know your predictions and hopes, and let me know how badly this video aged because I chose to record it in November, just because I thought, like, hey, you know, it's November. What can they announce? But those are my famous last words, and hopefully I trigger the announcement of the English DMX3s. So let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. Hopefully at least some of these predictions are right. I went with some pretty safe ones. I'm not going to include the 02 movie coming out as a prediction necessarily, because that one feels entirely too safe. And the rest I think are more like just random bets. So like this video for my Atmon enthusiasm, or for any of these predictions if you found any of them entertaining. Subscribe if you haven't already, because I hope that I hit 13,000 subscribers in 2022. As of recording this, I have not. I'm still like 600 away. So if I have, thank you for subscribing. If I haven't, please subscribe, because it's better late than never. And of course, I'll see you on the next video. Bye!